Hey guys, can you hear me? Hello Thomas, how are you? Welcome to the stream, happy to see you. Hello Logan, happy to see you brother, welcome to the stream. Let me know if you can hear me guys. Hello Donnells, welcome to the stream. Good to hear, good to hear. How are you man? It is nice to see you. LS Gaming, welcome to the stream. How are you? So guys, we're gonna continue grinding Mule Deer here on Parque Fernando. You know, if any of you have watched my last couple videos, you know I talk about how to make this lake right here a really powerful spawn trap, because apparently this lake is like just as consistent as the lake on Cuatro Colinas for the road deer. You know the lake on Cuatro Colinas. You know that lake, the response barely jump to air locations, and apparently this lake right here works exactly the same, but this time for the mule deer. So yeah, we're essentially gonna be shooting our solos here, and I mean we're still testing the method, because even though we haven't gotten a single jumper so far, the key will be to see if they continue respawning once we start killing the solos, because you know, if you watch the last videos, you probably saw that we were turning herds into solos, and right now I have I think 25 solos around the lake. So we'll know if the grind actually works if the solos remain on the lake after we shoot them. Hello Frostbite, how are you man? Nice to see you. Glad to hear you are doing good Donald. Sith Rosen, welcome to stream. Yeah, it's been a while man. Like 8 hours apart from Sweden. Yeah, so it's late for you, eh? Happy to see you here. Thank you for joining. Alright guys, so we're gonna start by shooting those 4 solos right there. This is where the grind actually begins. If the solos start respawning within the same lake, we'll know the method is actually working. We missed that one. Those 2 are gonna die. So that is 4 more kills to a counter. That one is going far though. That'll do it. So let's fast travel to his tent and let's start claiming our kills. Glad to hear you are doing good, Frostbite. I'm also doing good, thank you very much. Just gonna continue testing this method and also testing my voice, because yeah, my voice has been rough recently. So testing my voice and see if it's gonna be good enough to continue streaming. You know, so far it's been decent, but it still takes effort to speak, you know. So there is 2 kills right there. I think I have like 4 different solos on that zone, but there's currently only 1. Look, there's a second. So we're also gonna kill those 2. And there's another solo plus a solo female right there. We could also try to swap the females at some point. You know, it is exactly the same process as swapping the female road deer. But for now we're gonna focus on shooting the males right here. That'll do it. Let's see. There's some red deer. That level 2 is also a solo. By the way guys, the person that discovered this method is actually on my Discord server. His name is MacJohn2, and he's been doing this method for the red deer here on Parque Fernando. You know, I think he has something like 40 solos on this lake, and so far his grind has been super consistent. Like, all the solos continue respawning here, and apparently it's a really effective grind. So if we manage to make it work for the mule deer, which I would say is probably gonna work very similar since they both share the same home range, we could potentially have a grind that is just as easy as the grind on Cuatro Colinas for the roe deer. But we'll see. Yes, it's Rosen. I understand. 2 a.m. for you. That's crazy. But yeah, thank you very much for joining. It is nice to see you here. You know, I'll try to stream earlier other days. You know, especially during the weekends. Bible Hunter. Nice to see you, brother. How are you? Welcome to stream. The swapping is going very good. Because, you know, if you've been watching the last couple videos I made here on Parque Fernando, like, the first thing I started doing is trying to turn the herds into solos. You essentially turn a herd into a solo by killing every single member of the herd and only leaving one male at the end. The male you leave, that becomes a solo. So yeah, we've been doing that with every single of the herds on this lake. The herds are still gonna respawn within this lake, which lets you keep converting herds into solos until you have enough solos in the lake. But once you are happy with the number of solos in the lake, you aren't gonna be able to shoot them until you go and kill one solo per every solo you converted in the lake. You know, I know it's confusing, guys, but let's imagine like, you can only have 100 solos in the map, because there's actually a fixed number of solos you can have in a reserve. So let's say that number is 100. So if you start converting herds into solos on this lake, of course the number of solos will go above 100, right? Like, you are eventually gonna have, let's say, 120 solos when you are supposed to only have 100. So what you will eventually have to do before you start shooting the solos you created on this lake is to balance your population by killing solos, you know, on your exterior zones. So if you have a surplus of 20 solos in your lake, you'll have to kill another 20 solos on your exteriors to reduce the number of solos back to 100 around your map. That way, once you start killing the solos on this lake, they are gonna stay as solos here. You know, just let me know if that is confusing, guys, because I know that is confusing. There's a melanistic doe right there. Pretty sure that is a respawn. That is a herd, by the way. But that one is clearly solo, so we're gonna shoot it right here. Now we're gonna fast travel here to claim him. Hello, Philip Fox. Welcome to stream. Thank you very much. Hopefully we get lucky today. Look, here we have the melanistic female. Bro, no way we missed all the shots. Anyway, okay, gonna start paying more attention to the comments because I've been focusing on explaining things here. Build Fish Cash, welcome to stream. I'm doing very good, brother. How are you? Been watching your videos for a while, but this is the first stream I've made. Thank you for putting the time to make great daily videos. I appreciate the kind words, brother. You know, it is a pleasure to make all those guides, and I really enjoy making content, especially frequent content. So it really makes me happy to hear, brother. Thank you very much. Happy to see you here. Will you ever do another whitetail grind? I think I'm probably gonna do another whitetail grind after the summer LS Gaming, after the new map comes out, whatever it is. But yeah, I definitely plan to grind for more whitetail because we only have 2 great ones for them. And of course I want a 3rd one to complete the horror. I think that would be fantastic. So guys, we're gonna fast travel back to his tent, reset the time, and we'll see if we get some response, hopefully. Hey Gerald, how are you, brother? Nice to see you again. Yeah, you weren't expecting to see me doing mule deer. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I grind for the mule deer, pretty much. And I decided to make it here on Parque Fernando because I think it is a very underrated reserve to grind them, and also because there seems to be a method that could be really OP for the mule deer. If it actually works. We are still testing it. 3 more bugs over there, those are also solos. That is 1, 2, 3, perfect hits. And that one is also a solo, so let's shoot him right here. He's going down. By the way, guys, I'm pretty sure those were respawns, eh? Just got a silver American mink, that is nice. Yeah, that is a very cool rare, I love how they look. By the way, guys, tell me, what is your most recent trophy? You and Hells are the best YouTubers, really appreciate it, man. Glad you enjoy our content. Yeah, I'm just hoping to be able to stream more frequently, you know? Because I really enjoy streaming. It is nice to get to interact with you sometimes. We should have a few more solos over that side of the lake. We're gonna have to wait a bit for our response. I see. So Piebald Silver, I see. Because I'm pretty sure there's also a rare that is called just Silver. But yeah, the Piebald is a sick looking rare. My favorite for that species. Got a Diamond Pine Marten today after I accidentally deleted my first one, which was a max score. That really sucks, brother. Damn, how did it happen? Did you delete it on the trophy lodge? Hello, Crab. How are you doing, man? Nice to see you again. Yeah, Gerald, I still plan to continue grinding for the road deer because I still need my third Great One Mule Deer as well. And I wanna complete the Horror. So yeah, we're gonna continue grinding them on Cuatro Colinas. Maybe continue testing the method we were trying to test on Hirschfelden as well. Although, right now that grind is pretty much broken. Because that is nowhere near as consistent as I was expecting it to be. We are barely getting response in the supposed spawn trap. But hopefully we'll manage to fix it. There is also a solo right there. Good hit. Well, not great hit. But he's still gonna die. Good to hear, Crab. It is nice to see you here. My most recent trophy was a Piebald Mule Deer. Nice, Frostbite. Are you also grinding for the mule deer? I haven't played Call of the Wild in a few weeks. This makes me wanna play. Honestly, right now is a very good time to play because there's probably a new map coming out very soon. Probably in a couple months. So yeah, I would say it is a nice time to return to a game before the new map comes out. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I see, Piebald Hunter, so you were trying to dismantle a multi-mount and yeah, you deleted it by accident. I see, that really sucks. Yeah, deleting a max score is really painful, man. Sorry to hear. I know it's been years, but when will you grind for a Great One Moose once again? You know, I also plan to return to the Moose grind at some point, Gerard. You know, I'm not gonna give you a date, because I don't know just yet, but I definitely wanna retake that grind at some point. Probably in a different map this time, because we did our first one on Medved Taiga, we got our first Great One there. So, if I had to choose a second map to do a second grind, I would definitely choose Revontuli Coast. They seem to be fairly easy there. Most recent trophy was a big old albino moose. That is nice, Philip. what it is called, do you remember? But yeah, I really love how the albino moose look. So that is a very, very nice rare. Got my first male roebuck, which is nice because I'm in Forest Ranger in Scotland and hunt them daily in real life. That is amazing, Thomas. Oh, I imagine you have a lot of fun there. Yeah, it sounds like a dream job for a lot of people. Really happy for you, man. So 4 solos right there. Maybe respawns another 2 solos right there. We may actually be getting response right here, guys, which is a good sign. Maybe. Still too early to tell. Let's see. So that is 2. We can get a 3rd one right here. We hit him twice. Alright. He's gonna die. Grinding for my Great One Moose now. Nice, Philip. Where are you grinding them? Damn it. Is it been that long, Jared? Did I really get my first Great One Moose on 2021? I think it was actually like 2023, which, I mean, is still a long time ago. But yeah, it's not that old. Hello, William. Welcome to the stream. When does the stream start? Pretty sure it already started. Can you not see the image, the live? Okay, couple bugs over there. Just gotta go claim the other wizard over here. Are you just grinding solos or hair management? Right now we're only grinding solos. You know, because we're testing this method, and this method is only with solos. I haven't done any herd management at all. Right now my goal is to see the consistency of the response for the solos. Because if the solos continue responding consistently, then we're actually gonna be able to start doing some herd management on the exterior legs. But right now our priority is to test the consistency of the response. Grinding moose on Leighton. The albino scored 242. That was a big albino. Very, very nice trophy, Philip. What's your ethnicity? I'm from El Salvador. Saludos, hermano. I'm from Mexico. That is 2. There we have... Okay, we still haven't gotten the response on the other side. So let's fast travel here. Yeah, it was actually on 2023, Jared. It's still a long time ago, eh? So yeah, I think it's time to begin another grind very, very soon. Call of the Wild Great One Gaming, welcome to the stream. How are you, man? Alright. Yeah, that is very true, King Crab. Need to update the Nightbot. Oh, give me a second. Let me see if I can hide it here. Just ban them. Yeah, now it should say 31,000 for sure. Okay, 2 more solos over there, that is good. Possibly a response. Let's see. That is 1. We missed that one. Bro, don't escape. He's going down. We need a second hit. We missed the second shot and he went out of render, unfortunately. Sounds good, Carson. Glad to hear you are doing good. There was another male over there. Are those also solos? I wanna think they are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, we're definitely getting respawns, eh? Not impressive respawns because they are mostly level 2 so far. Terrible shooting. So there is 2 more. Let's reload right here. I've been to Cabo San Lucas for vacation. It was beautiful. Yeah, that is a beautiful place, Bible Hunter. That's nice to hear. Sounds good, King Crab. See you in a bit, brother. Yeah, Jared, the Moose has new racks. Supposedly something like 11 new racks. But what really disappoints me is the fact that apparently none of those new racks applies for the diamonds. Because I don't think the diamonds have gotten any of the new racks since the update. Which is disappointing because, I mean, that's mostly what I care about and what a lot of people care about. The diamond racks, of course. That is another kill. Let's go harvest your 2 shot. I hope the new Great One is a black-tailed deer or a Rocky Mountain elk. Rocky Mountain elk would be fantastic, Frostbite. But yeah, blacktail as well. And you know, if we happen to get the Great One blacktail, what I would be the most excited about would be the remaster, because if the blacktail gets a Great One, the blacktail as a species is definitely gonna get remastered. So I'm very excited about that because right now they aren't the best looking species. Especially the racks are kinda realistic, but I would say they should be way more detailed and more like the mule deer racks. So yeah, if we happen to get a Great One blacktail, I would be really looking forward for a remaster. Onside. I don't know how to pronounce your name, brother. Onxid. Welcome to the stream. How are you, brother? Nice to see you. Bro, my fallow deer grind is terrible. I've grinded almost 10,000 kills and no Great One or super rare. That is just insane, William. 10,000 kills without a Great One. Damn. Yeah, that's unlucky. Guys, send them some luck in the chat. Because 10,000 kills with no Great One, yeah, I wouldn't wish that to nobody, honestly. That is probably solo as well. Good hit. 2 new diamond racks for the moose. Yeah, because all the diamond racks got kinda remastered because they got new textures, but I haven't seen a single new model for the diamond racks. Because there are new models for the level 4s and level 3s, but for the level 5s, I personally haven't seen a single one. So if you have gotten 2, I would really appreciate it if you went to my Discord and share them there, because I really wanna see them, brother. Hey bro, can you swap a solo female in your main zone with a pair in your exterior and turn that pair into a solo? So, that is a good question, Aaron. Because yeah, you can swap the female for the pair, but then turn the pair into a solo. I mean, if you kill the female of the pair, and then kill a buck from another pair on an exterior, there's a chance that female and that buck you kill will then turn into a new pair. So yeah, you could potentially turn a pair into a solo, in theory. But I just have never tried it. Sounds great. Pillfish cash. Yeah, if you can put him there, I really wanna see him, brother. Because I was really excited to see new diamond racks for the moose. And I was disappointed when I realized that maybe they didn't add a single one. So if they actually exist, I really wanna see them, to be honest. Alright. We're gonna have to reset the time now. Just gonna go harvest the last one we killed here. What are your 3 favorite trophies you have? Frostbite, I would say my Melanistic Diamond Beaver, that is number 3. Then it would be my Melanistic Diamond Puma, number 2. And my number 1 would be my Pale Diamond Capercaillie that I got on Remontuli Coast. That would be my favorite trophy ever. That is another solo. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite trophies. What about you? What are your 3 favorite trophies? Got hit. Sounds good, man. Really looking forward to see those pictures. That is a solo female. We are probably gonna try to swap that one at some point. Time to reset time. Gonna go to the main menu right here as well. I love the rare Capercaillies, you don't see them often. For real, man, they are quite rare. Yeah, I also love the rare Capercaillies, you know, rare black rouses. Pretty much every single rare upland bird. I love them all. What was that? Did you see it, guys? Did you Here's a puma, but man, it was like teleporting for a minute. That was weird. Let's reset time once again. Hopefully that'll make him spawn. Okay, level 2, solo. No respawn so far. That'll do it. I've got a bunch, 10 pairs that aren't shot down in my experience on Scotland, and I'm actually using your guide. That is nice, Aaron. How is it working for you? Have you managed to spawn any trophies? There's another solo arriving. By the way, we couldn't kill the melanistic earlier, eh? The melanistic female. Just posted those 2 diamond racks. Man, I wanna take a look right now. Actually, gonna use my phone. I have one pelt from 2024. That's amazing, Bible Hunter. Yeah, the Pale Capercaillie is a really cool and rare. You know, I think I haven't seen one since my super rare. So it's been like 3 years. Let me check the pictures, because I really wanna see those new racks. Hello, Tank. Welcome to the stream, brother. The grind is going decent so far. You know, we're just testing the method posted by Max John. Just testing the consistency of the response for the solos on this lake right here. And so far, you know, there have been some response happening, but it's still too early to tell if we are actually getting every single of the response we are supposed to be getting. So we'll see very soon. For now, we're gonna focus on shooting that melanistic right there. It is just a female, but it's a mela, so it's cool. Should be good. That one is a solo as well, so let's shoot it as well. Not a good hit. We hit him twice, so that counts as another kill. Hello Patrick, how are you? Nice to see you once again, brother. Just testing the mule deer method here on Parque Fernando. Let's go claim the female. Gonna go to my community tab here on YouTube because I wanna see the pictures he posted of his diamond moose with the new racks. Let's see. That is probably also a solo? No, I think that is a herd. Yeah, a bunch of rares. I spawned a level 2 diamond and killed an 87.2 scoring roe deer. No great one yet, almost 2000 male kills. Yeah, he's been really stubborn, Aaron. But you know, getting a level 2 diamond plus an 87 plus, that's still crazy, eh? For example, I've never gotten a level 2 diamond, nor an 87 plus. So those are some amazing trophies right there. Happy to hear. I still don't have any albino or melanistic mule deer. They are very rare, Bible Hunter. Yeah, also been really struggling to find melanistics for them. Because I have one, but man, that thing was like 2023 as well. Look at this male female. You know, I was talking about the box because the females are way more common in my opinion. Really love the fur tab. It isn't like entirely black. You can see it has a brown tone mainly around the legs. Kinda reddish around the belly as well. It's a really cool looking rare. Still gonna tax it. Probably never gonna place it inside any trophy lodge, but you know, I still like to have all those rares in the trophy manager, just in case. So we may be getting some response on that side. 2 solos. Just gonna claim this one. My 3 favorite trophies of all time is my Super Mule Deer on my PlayStation 5, my Acromelanistic Moose on my PC, and my Melanistic Tiger also back on PlayStation. Those are some sick trophies, Frostbite. Super Mule Deer is crazy. Would love to get one. Hello Lauren. Doing very good, how are you? Happy to see you, thank you for joining the stream. That is another 2 kills. That one is not going down. Come on. We missed. Still gonna die. Seriously Gaming, welcome to the stream. You've missed 2 great ones so far. 2 great ones. No, not really, you haven't missed much. Well, we just killed a melanistic doe. Melanistic mule deer. So yeah, you haven't missed much. But thank you for joining the stream, very happy to see you. Sounds good, Grab. Yeah, keep an eye on the chat as well. You know, your help is really appreciated. Are there any multi-mounts with female mule deer? I don't think so, Patrick. You know, because there's one with a female red deer and a male red deer. But for mule deer, I don't think there's any that includes a female mule deer. Not that I remember. Oh yeah, that's true, Philip. Yeah, there's one with a buck and two does. Yeah. Yeah, so true. Glad to hear, Lauren. Very glad to hear you enjoyed the road deer guide and that you are doing well. Okay. Now we're gonna go for those two right there. We're gonna need more tents. You know, another tent over there. Pretty much a tent on every zone. I think we have 6 different zones on this lake. That should do it. The thing with the mule deer though is that, yeah, they are quite tanky. So it's easy for them to resist the 300. That one went out of render. Still gonna die. How many great ones do you have right now? And what is your favorite that you have? I have, I think, 12 different great ones, William. Counting the 2 road deer. And my favorite great one, I mean, that is a very good question, but you know, I love the Great One moose overall. So I would say my favorite spruce moose with a typical rack. That is my favorite great one still. Yeah, that is the main reason why I wanna continue grinding the moose, because eventually I wanna get the big rack. I think it's possibly the best looking rack for any Great One, in my opinion. And of course many of the other furs. Just love them. What about you, brother? How many Great Ones do you have and which one is your favorite? Sounds good, crap. Yeah, take your time, man. Let's see, there was another soul over there. Nice, level 4. 326 top estimate. Good hit. What country are you from? I'm from Mexico, Lauren. Yeah, I'm Mexican. So yeah, my accent is Spanish. You know, a lot of people can recognize it, but also a lot of people think I'm Russian. I tend to get that. Like for example, earlier I had a comment that was asking me if I was from Romania as well. So yeah, I tend to get, you know, if it's not an Hispanic country, normally people think I'm from either Russia or from any of the Eastern European countries. But I'm actually from Mexico. Nice shot. Matt Alvarez, welcome to the stream, man. How are you doing? How is your arm? Your first stream? Yeah, I don't recall seeing you here. Because of course I recognize you from my comment section on my videos, but yeah, I think this is the first time I see you on a stream. Really happy to see you here. Bro being Russian, and yeah, right? Right, King Crab? To be honest, I understand why people would think that is. Mainly because of the way I roll my R's. Because that's also how they roll their R's there, especially the Russians. So yeah, I understand where the confusion comes from. I'm from Kentucky, American. Nice, Lauren. Very, very nice. You know, someday I wish to visit that area as well. Because I've been on many states on the south of the United States. Both the west and the east, but I've never been on Kentucky. How did you learn English? You know, I started learning on school. You know, on secondary school mainly. Then of course on high school. But, well, of course, like whenever I started making content and I started being forced to speak English pretty much every single day, that is when I really started improving, Patrick. Also talking with other people in English and everything, that really helped as well. But yeah, I started in school and then I also started taking English classes apart from the school. That is also a solo, pretty sure. Drinking some grass over there. Good hit. Not gonna lie, I thought you were from Barcelona at the beginning. They love using the he sound. I see. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure of exactly which he sound you're referring to. Oh, is it like the one I use while ending a phrase? Yeah, I think I know which sound you're referring to. You've ever been to California? I've been on California, Matt. Yeah, I've been on Los Angeles, on San Diego, on Anaheim, Disneyland. So yeah, I've been on California. I have a Bible book in my house, by my house. Oh, so you spotted a Bible book. That's crazy, Lauren. Do you plan to hunt it at some point? Man, I didn't know animals could drink grass, right? Yeah, man, sometimes it's like you are in a lake and then you use your binoculars and 400 meters away from the lake there's an animal drinking there. Literally drinking grass. I see, king crab. So yeah, I've heard them do that sound as well. You know, Spanish people, I didn't know it was specifically from Barcelona. But yeah, Spanish people also tend to do that a lot, for sure. You ever been up north? Not in the USA. No, I've never been on any of the northern states. You know, eventually I wanna go, for example, to Montana. Like, I would love to go there at some point. Colorado, love the landscapes. Of course, New York. Like Washington at some point. So we're actually getting some response right here. Let's see, guys. That is a solo. That is a hare right there. That is another hare. So far, you know, even though we are still getting response, I don't feel we're getting all the response we should be getting. Or at least not yet. Let's see, we're gonna shoot that one right there. We have level 3 and level 2. Let's go for them, guys. That is one. And that is two. I heard your iconic theme music in a random video earlier. I've also heard that track many times on other random videos. Like, I remember, this was fairly recently. I was watching some news on a news channel, and they were literally using that track. And I was like, oh my god, they are stealing from me. But then I just remember that track is literally on the YouTube audio library for everybody to download. But yeah, it's like so iconic on my channel that also every time I hear it anywhere else, I feel kinda robbed. Logan the Hunter, welcome to stream. How are you, brother? Very happy to see you here. Colorado is my favorite state. By the way, give me a second because the chat is moving here. Okay, Colorado is my favorite state. Live there for a bit. Gonna need to get used to the heights. Way above sea level. How high is Colorado? Like, do you know exactly in meters? Because, for example, the place where I live, which is Guadalajara, Jalisco in Mexico, like, we are 2,500 above the sea level. 2,500 meters. By the way, bro, do you like football? I do like football, King Crab. Yeah, I don't watch football as much as I used to watch it. But yeah, I still, I support like some teams in Europe. I used to be a huge supporter of Barcelona at some point because of Messi. But yeah, nowadays I still watch some matches, especially from the Champions League. But not nearly as much as I used to do, to be honest. Leviathan, welcome to stream, brother. How are you? Very, very happy to see you here. I am at 99 subscribers, and I cannot seem to get to 100. Come on, guys. Let's get Logan to 100 subscribers. Right there. Give him a little push. That guy is definitely solo. Nice hard shot. Mexico is also really high up, right? Yeah, Patrick, so like some places on Mexico are really high up. Especially around the center, like Mexico City, Guadalajara, of course. But there's also a lot of coast. So yeah, there's the terrain is really varied. About 2,000 meters above sea level. I see. So quite similar to here. What is my favorite team in Europe? Barcelona, King Grab. Yeah, I would say Barcelona, also Bayern Munich. Those are my favorite teams in Europe. Glad to hear you are doing good, Leviathan. Also doing very good. Yeah, just happy to stream as always. Really happy to be able to interact with you guys. Mexico seems like such a cool place. It is a really beautiful country, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, the main issue within this country is the insecurity with all the cartels and just like criminal groups. But apart from that, it's really, really beautiful country. A lot of cool places. It's super diverse. I would assume that you're a fan of Guadalajara. Well, King Crab, you may be surprised, but I'm actually a huge fan of the team that rivals Guadalajara, which is America. It is called just America. So yeah, I'm actually a fan of the biggest rival of Guadalajara. I live in Chicago, USA, but I'm originally from Greece. Nice, Patrick. Very, very nice. Man, I also wanna visit Greece at some point because it has so much history. You know, I wanna go to Greece, Italy, of course Spain, and all the Mediterranean countries. Like that area is beautiful. Nildo Lopez, welcome to the stream. How are you, man? Hello like Flamengo. Oh, are you from Brazil, Nildo? Let's see, guys. No signs of any bug. So we're gonna go back to the main menu and reset the time once again. Hopefully we'll finally get some response. I've been to the Estadio Azteca before. It's amazing. Yeah, that stadium is historic. You know, really excited to see it in the World Cup, because I'm pretty sure the first match will be played there. Let's see, guys. So there's a soul over there. We seem to be getting some respawns, but they aren't respawning as often. Hello, BC3. How are you, man? Good evening. Happy to see you on the stream. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I've got a friend who's Mexican, and the way he describes Mexico is very cool. Yeah, Leviathan, Mexico honestly is a really, really beautiful country. Like, there are so many things to do here. Like, it's like you have pretty much most biomes. Like, you have forests, you have beautiful beaches. Of course, you have the desert. Hold on a second, those two are respawns. Like, you have really dry areas, but also a lot of tropical areas. Also places where it can snow, surprisingly. But when it comes to diversity, you know, it is hard to beat the USA, to be honest. Because you quite literally have every single biome right there. I am Mexican, but I don't speak Spanish, sorry. Oh, that's cool, Matt. That's cool, it's always nice to see Mexicans in the USA. So were you born in the USA? Yeah, because I also had a friend that also was born in the USA, and he was Mexican because of course his parents were Mexican, but he never got to learn Spanish. Let's go here. Greece is so beautiful. They have some nice hunting and fishing there too. That is interesting, Patrick. You know, I didn't know Greece like had any hunting culture. You know, that sounds very interesting. Okay, that is... I wanna think that is a hare right there? No, never mind, look. Those are still drinking, which means those two are solos. Let's kill them. Another 2 kills. Let's see on that side. There's a solo though, another solo though, that is possibly heard. However, I'm actually gonna shoot one of those with a 22 Baran just to verify they are all part of a herd, because I suspect some of those are solos. Look. We hit it. And now let's pay attention to whoever follows the female that we just shot. Because whoever follows the female is part of the herd. And of course whoever stays to continue drinking is a solo. So let's see. Bro is in Mexico, but originally from Russia, imagine. Not gonna lie, I would love to visit Russia at some point as well. Look, that one is drinking once again, which means that is a solo. Same as that level 2. So let's see. That's one. And that's two. Good hits. I would love to visit Guadalajara. So much culture there. Yeah, Guadalajara is another of the historic cities here in Mexico. So yeah, it's also full of cool places to visit, and it has a lot of history. Right now it's very hot though, and super dry. But you know, once the rains come, once the rain season starts, you know, it gets pretty chill. Like, the weather gets very good. And it starts raining and it doesn't stop for like a couple months. I've been to Hualtuco. Hualtuco. Do you know what state that is, King Crab? Yeah, I wanna visit those states, King Crab. Maine, Connecticut, I think is the other called. Like, I like those places that are full of small towns. Right, that is two solos right there. We're actually getting some fairly consistent response, guys. You know, it's not like the grind is working amazing right now. Ooh, that is a level 5. Really hope that is a solo. I think it is. Let's shoot it. Nice, we dropped it. Beautiful. However, I think it had the troll rack. So I don't know. May make it, may not make it. I think it's gonna troll, but we'll see in a moment. I am learning Spanish at school right now. That sounds great, Leviathan. What do you think of the language? Do you think it's hard? I was born in San Jose. My mom tried teaching me Spanish, and I thought I would never need it. Well, I mean, she was kinda right, Matt, honestly. Like, if your main language is English, you are really never truly gonna need Spanish, but yeah, I understand why you would want to learn it as well. Look at this guy. What do you think is gonna score, guys? Do you think it's gonna make it? Personally, I think it's gonna be troll, but we'll see. Wooderson, how are you, man? Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. All I'm saying, bro, visit Maine. My good friend named Donels, he lives up there. So beautiful up there in the fall. Yeah, I've seen those states, and they truly look beautiful. Yeah, and honestly, the fall is my favorite season to go to any place. Just because of all the orange trees. I love that kind of landscapes. So that place is in Oaxaca, I see, King Crab. Oaxaca, that's how we say it. How is this method so far? You know, so far, we are mainly testing how consistent the response are. Mainly with the solos I already created based off the herds. And, you know, so far we are getting some response, but they aren't being as consistent as I was expecting, to be honest. Still too early to tell though. Let's see a score. 305.49, of course he trolled. Bro. Second shot was a double longing, hard. Not too bad, can't complain right there. But yeah guys, first troll of the grind. Of course we just got a troll. I've been getting a lot of trolls this week because, you know, I've also been working on a 7-day challenge on Yukon Valley. And I started the week with 2 trolls in a row. 2 trolls in a row, and I almost got trolled on the third max level. For me personally, it isn't super hard, but it isn't super easy neither. The main issue for me is on the writing side. I find the punctuation marks very difficult personally. Yeah, that makes sense, Leviathan. But it's nice to hear that you aren't finding it like terribly difficult. I'm pretty sure you are actually gonna learn it fairly quickly. But yeah, as you say, the punctuation marks and the accents, that thing can get very complicated. Because you don't have anything like that in English. Nice hard shot. Thank you, the awesome honor. Nice to see you here. By the way guys, how are your grinds going? Are you currently grinding for any Great One? Ooh, look at all the respawns. Now, that is what I'm talking about. That is what we're actually expecting. Some consistency. Look, that is also a solo. So 4 more solos plus a 5th one right here and a 6th one that is getting far. Let's get on the tripod. Gonna 0 for 300 right here. That one is leaving because the drink time is over. He's down. That one is also down. Same as that one. Same as that one. Let's go for that one as well. Come on. Nice hit. And he's down. Perfect. Ooh. Those 2 just respawned. What? I'll do it. Okay. So that is another 2 kills, but they are gonna take a while to die. We're gonna try to make a second hit on each of them. We hit him. Where's the other? Apparently they went out of render. So let's fast travel here. Yukon is awesome. You are so right, Matt. Yeah, the map is beautiful, and the only thing it could improve in my opinion is, of course, the animal morals. Because, for example, you see the grizzly bear, like, those things are the worst moral in the game, in my opinion. They look terrible. Currently at 2518 kills on my pork grind, and I'm getting a bit worn out. That makes sense, BC3. Yeah, it's been a long grind for you, eh? Wish you luck, I really hope your Great One spawns soon. So that is another mule deer. Let's see on the opposite side. There's nothing there. I just finished my almost year-long moose grind, and now I'm trying for roe deer. Except I don't have Quattro, so I'm trying to get him on Scotland. I mean, luckily Scotland isn't nearly, you know, it isn't nearly as easy as Quattro, but it's not that much difficult. That is also a solo right there. So yeah, I wish you luck, brother. I hope you can get your roe deer on Scotland. It is also a fun grind, for sure. Grinding my moose while watching you. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, Great One Moose is my dream trophy. I have 16 Great Ones since December, but no, now I am aiming for moose. That is amazing. 16 Great Ones since December. That's a lot, man. Really, really good job. What other species have you been grinding? I'm probably making a bad decision, but I think I must try grinding Yukon for moose as my first grind. Because if you do the hardest first, the easiest feels extra easy. Yeah, that makes sense, Leviathan. Yeah, Yukon is by far the hardest map for moose, so you are very right on choosing that one as the hardest grind. So yeah, if you manage to spawn a Great One there, whenever you decide to do the medved grind, it's definitely gonna feel easier. Hopefully you manage to spawn it quickly though. Sounds great, BC3. Yeah, thank you for watching the stream, brother. Wish you luck in the grind. First map I bought 3 years ago was SRP. Such a good buy, Matt. Yeah, because SRP, you know, for a long time it used to be the best map in the game. So I bet you don't regret buying it, eh? Okay, time to go to the main menu and reset the time once again. I'm still trying to figure out how to set up for grinds. I'm very slow. Finding the zones is taking a while. That makes sense. QB. Yeah, finding the zones and setting up the tents and tripods around the zones, that's probably the most tedious part. But you know, just take some hotspot maps as reference, run your map and you are eventually gonna find them all. Once you find them all, like, it becomes easier. Maybe invite a couple friends to help you out. We need another bear Great One. So real, Patrick. Yeah, you know, the pheasants are fun, but you know, imagine something as Great One Turkey. Great One Turkey or Great One, I don't know, quail. Bob White quail. That would be cool. Or of course, like capercaillies. Could be another cool Great One. Hello, Calvin. How are you, man? Welcome to stream. Doing very good. Yeah, you know, so far the grind is just getting started. We're testing how consistent the response are. And even though the response aren't being as consistent as I was expecting, they are still fairly consistent. Definitely working. Like, we're actually gonna be able to grind on a single lake, which is this one right here. And supposedly, I think it was these two lakes that can have jumpers from this lake. So we're probably gonna check him as well at some point, huh? If we notice the number of mule deer here starts decreasing. I have played the game for about a year, but started grinding mule deer in December. I now have 8 mule deer, 4 black bears, 2 whitetail, 1 fallow deer, and 1 red deer. That is an amazing collection, Philip. So yeah, all those great ones in less than a year, that's honestly impressive. You've been doing a great job, man. Really, really good job. That is a solo female. Those 2 are solo males. We continue getting response, that's perfect. So another 2 kills. Turkey would be awesome. A dog Great One would be so cool as well. Oh, for real, a dog Great One? It has to be mallard. It has to be mallard. Like, mallards are on so many maps at this point that it wouldn't make sense if the next Great One dog is not a mallard. Or if the first Great One dog is not a mallard. Like, they have to take advantage of the fact that they are on like 7 maps at this point. Let's see, guys. There is a hair right there. You know, it looks like a single hair, but once again, I wanna think there are some solos mixed with it. So let's take the 22. Gonna shoot one of the females. Gonna go for that one right there. Way too low. Now way too high. How far is it? That is 350 meters out, okay. Let's see, guys. This is not the 22. Black Rose would be an awesome great one. Black Rose would be a very cool one as well. Yeah, I would love Black Rose. You know, Copper Kelly. Hazel Grouse could be a good one because I love that species, but man, grinding them would be a pain. Pretty much impossible. Alright. Bro. We're gonna end up spooking them, yeah. Never mind. We are too far for the 22. You're gonna rep the men the next time you collab with Hells, right? You know, next time I collab with Hells is probably gonna be a competition. Once again. Probably on Sundar Patan once again. So yeah, we have some pending matters between the two of us. I need to get a rare snow leopard in her face. Okay, let's reset time. I would cry if it were a Wigeon or Teal Great One next. You know, I wouldn't mind the Eurasian Teal as the next Great One, but man, Wigeon would be terrible, eh? Like, Wigeons are more scarce than the others in my opinion. So yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun grind. There is another solo down. Those are also solos? Maybe not. Alright, how far is that one? We know that is a herd, but... oh yeah. It may be 2 females and 3 males. So these 2 are probably solos. Let's go for them. That is 2. Perfect. There is a female, male. Let's go claim those 2. And I'm also gonna go for a 10 to be able to place a 10 on that zone because I am not liking the fact that we are running around a lot. We already have one. Let's see, gonna check the comments right here. I can tell you one thing for sure. I got my Great One Wolf last week at 1476 kills, and now I'm 2523 into the board. So my next Great One grind will not be at night. Oh yeah. Yeah, brother, that is more than nearly 4,000 kills into night grind, so that sounds like a pain. Where are you grinding the wild boar, by the way? On Scotland? I would like a Great One Goose of sorts. Great One Canada Goose would be cool. Leviathan. Yeah, honestly, that is a good idea. Pretty sure a lot of people would love to see a Great One Goose at some point, because they are fun to hunt. Fairly easy. You know, the only thing they would have to change if they decide to add a Great One Waterfall is to make it so you can get response without having to kill the entire herd, you know? The entire flock, I mean. Because right now, when it comes to a waterfall, you actually have to wipe out the entire flock to get response. So that's a pain. That is a level 4. Probably different herd. That maybe is solo, maybe not. That's a solo female. Level 3 male. That's definitely solo over there. Look. That is also a solo. We hit it. It's gonna die. Let's go for the second. Good hit. And he's also gonna die. Now that one I have my doubts because it is next to 2 females, but those 2 females could perfectly be also solos. So gonna do the 22 trick right here. We hit it. If that female is a solo, those 2 are gonna continue drinking. Imagine a Great One Gator or Saltwater Crocodile. It could be like a dragon, imagine. Yeah, Patrick, that could be very exciting. Like, imagine all the different variations we could see for a Great One Crocodile. That could be very, very cool. Now, as you can see, the level 4 continued drinking. So, it's actually solo. Perfect. The Diamond Ptarmigans are already like getting a Great One. Pretty much, VC3. Yeah, Diamond Ptarmigans. Not even talking about the Diamond Hazel Grouse. That thing is a pain. As hell, see, if you don't believe me, it is truly a pain. Yeah, Patrick, the waterfall response only happen if you wipe out the entire flock. So you can imagine how painful it is to grind them. So yeah, essentially, like you start shooting a flock, and let's say initially the flock had 10 birds, then you shoot 3, and the next time the flock appears, you'll have 7. So you have to continue shrinking it slowly until every single dog on the flock disappears. Let's see, guys. 2 good kills. What if they did a Goose Great One, but then it was actually a huge one when it spawned as a Great One? You know, that could be cool. You know, it could be like a hybrid between a goose and a swan. You know, something different, way bigger in size. Yeah, that could definitely be interesting. Look at that, guys. 4 new solos right there. I don't wanna say it just yet, but the method is working. The solos are respawning within the same lake in great quantities. So we're actually gonna be able to continue grinding the mule deer on a single lake. That was the goal. What was your shortest grind? My shortest grind, William, was actually my first Great One Roe Deer, because it took me less than 400 kills. So yeah, that was by far my shortest grind, because before that one, I think my shortest was a bit more than 800 kills on a black bear. No, I think it was on a fallow deer, not a black bear, because the black bear, I think it took me a while. Is the main reason for Yukon being hard the amount of zones? Because if that's the main issue, I'm almost done finding them all. Yeah, the main issue with Yukon is essentially that the moose are present all around the map. It's like they are all around the map, they are on the river, which is hard to hunt, they are on all those little ponds and lakes and on the swamps. So yeah, it's a lot of zones to cover, and that makes it quite hard to do herd management and grind them, because as far as I'm concerned, there's not a single reliable spawn trap on Yukon Valley. So you are forced to cover the entire map. I think a Great One Gator would really revitalize Mississippi Acres as a map as well. I agree with you, Patrick. Like, adding any Great One to a map that doesn't have a Great One, that is always gonna help the map. That is the main reason why I think Borjonga Savannah should really get a Great One at some point, because it is such a unique looking map, like very cool looking. But the only thing that is missing, apart from remastered species, is definitely a Great One. Like a Great One Lion. So yeah, I completely agree. If they decided to add a Great One Gator to Mississippi, it would really revive that map, because right now, barely anyone plays it. Hello Robert, how are you, man? Nice to see you here. I'm doing pretty good. Just having some fun here grinding Mule Deer and chatting with everyone. Do you think this Mule Deer method could work on DSRP for Bear Lakes? I mean, the Mule Deer... Don't the Mule Deer share have a different home range to the Black Bears on SRP? Because I don't remember. I don't think they share the same locations. I may be wrong. The Uncle Ben, welcome to stream. How's the new method working for you? It's working pretty decent so far. You know, we've been mainly testing the response on this lake for the solos. And even though we were having a slow start because the respawns weren't truly respawning, we're actually being able to kill a very nice amount per run at the moment. You know, so far the respawns have been very consistent, especially in the last 20 minutes. Just gonna reset time right here. Got any videos on the zero perk? I mean, the zero perk is very simple, Matt. Like, you see, you have a weapon, you are able to zero up for 75, for 150 meters, and for 300 meters. You know, it's not like that for every weapon, but most rifles are like this. And you know, if a mule deer is 300 meters away, you simply change your zeroing distance to 300 meters. And that way the bullet will go straight towards the middle of the scope. Like that. That was part of a herd, by the way. Well, we're still gonna have to shoot it, because we're also gonna try to shrink that herd to a point where only one male remains, and it becomes a solo. We're actually gonna do that right here. Come on. We have to kill the females. That is one. That is two. And that is three. Perfect. That level 3 is gonna remain as a solo. Now that one is also a solo right there. Perfect hit. That is a solo female. Let's go claim him. My shortest initial grind was actually Mule Deer in Parque. It took me 140 kills. That's crazy, El Toto. That's really crazy. You know, that actually motivates me to continue a grind here, because yeah, we could potentially also have a short grind. But yeah, that's amazing. What variation did you get? Look, 2 more solos right there, also respawns. This is being consistent. Hey Savage, welcome to stream. Doing very good, brother, thank you for asking. How are you? Good hit. Space City Hunter, welcome to stream. Nice to see you here, brother. We needed more moderators, eh? Let's go there. How is it going, Space City? Gonna continue reading the chat here. I really miss the three-leg tiger method from the Sundarpatan, from when Sundarpatan came out. Yeah, that method was really overpowered. But honestly, I don't mind that they decided to remove it, because, you know, the tigers were supposed to be a very special species that was supposed to be hard to grind. So I understand why having a method that made it so easier to obtain trophies for them, like, was something that Expansive Worlds didn't want to happen. It's because they put so much effort on making the tigers work right and making the tigers scarce, that whenever they saw a method come out that essentially made it super easy, yeah, it was like something they had to remove. They just had to remove it, because in my as well, and I agree with them, it completely like went against what tiger hunting was supposed to be. That is from that perspective, but of course, like from just a grinding perspective, like when it comes to being effective on hunting a species, that method was fantastic. Like, that method was truly OP, so yeah, I completely understand why you miss it. We're gonna place a 10 right here. That is good to hear, Travis. Yeah, gonna enjoy the weekend now, eh? Happy to hear you're doing good. Glad to hear you're doing good, Robert. It's nice to see you here. Hello, Cameron. How are you, man? It's nice to see you here. Thank you for joining the stream. Grinding Red Deer on Emerald. Got a Piebald, Lucistic, and ended up getting a Diamond Axis Deer all in one run. That's crazy. What a run, eh? Man, I miss Emerald Coast. How is the grind there? Do you think it's easy? Okay, so we're gonna place a 10 right here, just to make sure to be able to claim the mule deer we shot on this zone as quickly as possible. Bro, no more structures of this type allowed. We'll have to remove a tent from another of our zones. One of the zones we aren't using at the moment. I think this one, look. They've done a great job with making the snow leopards a pain in the butt to hunt. You are so right, Leviathan. Yeah, and that was the intention. You know, their intention was to make them rare, to make it actually hard to hunt, and I would say they definitely achieved it. Same with the tigers, just not to the same degree. They are a bit easier. That's crazy, Cameron. You started this run and got an etheristic. Damn, that's insane. Congratulations. We're gonna go back to the main menu and reset the time once again. Do you have everything swapped on your mule deer grind yet? You know, I have already like 25 solos in the lake, Warden. So, no, I still have a couple hairs that I can convert to solos, but yeah, I'm already happy with the amount of solos I have on the lake, so not really trying to swap more. But if you are referring to swapping solo females for males, I still haven't started. Yeah, I also need to do that. Try to swap the solo females for solo males eventually. That is definitely solo right there. Same as those two, pretty sure. Well, 3. Is that a herd? Maybe. Gonna shoot a female just to see. Bro, what are you talking about? Well, we still spooked it. So the rest of the herd, if that's part of the herd, is still gonna follow it. However, those two are drinking, so they are solos. some lame accuracy. That's better. Good, good, good. Another 2 kills. Where is your accent from? Someone told me you are Mexican. I thought you were German or something like that. Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, a lot of people think I'm from Eastern Europe. Like, I get a lot that I'm Russian or Romanian. Like, sometimes even German, as right now. But yeah, I'm actually from Mexico, El Toto. Yeah, I'm actually from Mexico. And I understand why people would think I'm from Europe as well. That is probably also a solo. Let's shoot it right here. Is Diamond Haggis possible? It is possible. It is actually possible, Leshive. Incredibly rare, but so far we know of one that has been killed. Supposedly legit. So yeah, it's definitely possible to get a Diamond Haggis. It's just incredibly rare because imagine, let's say the spawn rate for a Diamond Haggis is the same as the spawn rate for a diamond of any species. That would make it approximately 1 every 150 Haggis. So you can imagine how hard it is to get one. Look, that is certainly her right there. Andrew, welcome to stream, brother. It's nice to see you once again. Doing very good. How are you? Just grinding some mule deer here. The grind is going. I'm not gonna say it's going fantastic because we're still testing stuff. But so far we've managed to kill, I think, about, what, 80 mule deer on this stream? Which isn't too bad. Now I wanna think that is a herd. Yeah, it is probably herd. Did you ever get a chance to look at the new Diamond Moose? I have been walking around, so I'm not sure. Oh, so I took a look at the post, but they didn't load in whenever I checked. So yeah, I'm gonna try again in a minute. Maybe it's because I was streaming. So yeah, I'm gonna try once again in a second. Gonna go right here. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna check that community post on my YouTube. Let's see. Oh, it's not appearing here. Oh, I think I see it now. Never mind. Okay, so yeah. So those are the racks, but those are racks that already existed. So yeah, they have the new texture, so they actually look different. But the design or the shape of those racks is already old. So yeah, what I meant earlier by saying new diamond racks for the moose is literally new designs, because the level 4s and the level 3s actually got new designs, but I haven't seen any new design for the level 5s just yet. I don't think they exist. Alright, we have 3 solos right there. Guys, the respawns are getting more and more consistent. Love to see it. Look. Good hit. That is 4 more mule deer. And now we're gonna go to our tent to buy more ammunition for the 300. Let's see. More ammo for the 300 right here. Are there any legitimate rare furs for the haggis? I've heard of a mored albino. Yeah, that is the only picture of a supposedly rare haggis we have seen so far. Leshive. Supposedly an albino, but as you say, it was probably mored. So yeah, we don't really know if there are rare fur types or haggis. I wanna think there are, you know, maybe actually albino and melanistic, but so far we have no confirmation. No way to know. I'm going to assume you speak Spanish. Yeah, you are very right, El Toto. I actually speak Spanish. You are from Uruguay. That's nice. Welcome to stream, brother. Very, very happy to see more people that speak Spanish here, as always. Un saludo. Hold up a second, that mule deer didn't run. Damn, he was low. However, that one survived. Come on. Now we have to reload. He's gonna escape. No. Come on, bro. Damn. Finally a second hit on that guy. We hit 4 more mule deer right there. It's gonna be hard to claim them all at this point. Peeled fish cache. Yeah, I mean, they look very new because of the updated texture, but yeah, it's actually the same old racks as always. Just with an updated texture. But for example, if you wanna see an actual new rack, go see the new level 4 racks they included. They look amazing. I was really wishing we would see a diamond version of those level 4 racks. Yeah, the Shiba, we probably had a bunch of response that we're waiting for us to kill more things, because yeah, we got a bunch at the same time. So yeah, guys, you know, as I said, it's still too early, but look, more response. Like, this is becoming non-stop action. That's gonna die. Yeah, it's truly becoming non-stop action, and at this point, I would say our priority should be to optimize the position of our tents in tripods so we don't have to run as much. You know, we could place, you know, a tent right here that I'm gonna place right now. Also another tent right here. Maybe another one right here on this zone. And maybe another one right here. Like, we could load the lake with tents, because we're gonna be grinding only on this lake. It's really working fantastic. And of course, apart from optimizing the position of our tents, we also have to optimize our shot placement, because we've been botching a lot of shots and they keep running. For example, the one we shot over there, that guy ran really, really far. I appreciate that, El Toto. Thank you for the luck. We're gonna need it. Your first one took you 140, but the second one is going over 1,000. At least it is fun, yeah. Yeah, I mean 140, that is a very quick grind. So I wish you luck in your second, brother. Hopefully it responds fairly quickly as well. Big Rocky Muscle, welcome to stream. Happy to see you, brother. You know, I was actually waiting for you, because you are a really frequent viewer, and I really appreciate your comments, brother. Really appreciate your support. Nice to see you here. Hope you are doing good. Hori 123, welcome to stream. Nice to see you. How are you? Hello, Space City. Welcome back. Are you thinking of doing a face reveal anytime soon? You know what, William? Based off of all the requests I've been getting frequently, or recently I mean, asking for a face reveal, I think I'm gonna do a face reveal as soon as tonight on my Discord server. I'm gonna post a picture. Honestly, just a picture of my face for whoever wants to see how I look, and that's it. You know, at some point I may use a face cam as well on my live streams and videos. That is probably solo. He's down. But yeah, I know a lot of you are asking for the face reveal because I think I said that once I hit 30,000 subscribers I was gonna do one. So yeah guys, it's time. Gonna post a picture on my Discord server and you'll get to see how I look like. Yeah, I mean some people already know how I look like. Spacery already knows how I look like. Like King Crab already knows how I look like, or other people as well. Nice kill. They keep coming. They really don't stop coming. So yeah, we're gonna place another 10 right here. The zone just disappeared, but it's gonna reappear once again at some point. Yeah, Patrick, join the Discord if you wanna get the face reveal tonight. Glad to hear you are doing good, Hori. Been watching you for a long time, love your content, hope you continue to grow, really appreciate that, brother. Means a lot to hear you say that. Happy to see you here. Alright guys, so we're gonna place a tent. Like finally. Because it didn't let us the last time because we had reached the limit. But now we can, perfect. We have 2 mule deer over there that we need to claim. Let's fast travel. Thank you for sharing the link, Spacery. So yeah, whoever wants to get the face reveal tonight, join the Discord, guys. Right there, there's the link in the comments. Just join the Discord and you will get to see my face. That is a nice looking level 4. Look at how tall it is. Can you do a post on YouTube also for the face reveal? You know, I might. I may, William, honestly. Yeah, but first I'm gonna do it on Discord. Bro, that guy's gonna survive. Bro, your hotspot maps are so helpful. Just wanted to thank you for them. Really appreciate you for saying that, Leviathan. Very happy whenever I see someone say that my hotspot maps are helpful because yeah, they've taken a lot of effort to make, so it makes me happy to hear that people find them helpful and that they are appreciated. Really happy to hear that, brother. Hopefully they'll drop it. It's not dropping it. Damn, what's up with our accuracy today? Never mind. Has anyone got a level 4 diamond mule deer? Yes, Leviathan. Level 4 diamond mule deers are actually a thing. I'm 2 great ones deep into mule deer grind and I still don't have a diamond level 4. Damn. They are rare then, eh? They are very rare. I still haven't got any level 4 neither. Not even a level 2 diamond roe deer. And I also have 2 great ones before it. Makes me happy to hear you find them helpful, BC3. Thank you for saying that, it means a lot. By the way guys, the 7-day challenge for Yukon Valley will be out tomorrow. Probably gonna put the video for members only before. And then we're gonna just release it, also in the evening. Yeah, also gonna be doing some changes to the memberships because I wanna start uploading members only videos. You know, videos that only the members can see and that are gonna stay as members only videos forever. So yeah, gonna do some changes to the memberships, to the perks. You know, I plan to make like tutorials about how to make thumbnails for YouTube. Also gonna make those members only. So yeah guys, whoever is a member of the channel, I really appreciate your support. It means a lot. And you know, my goal is to hopefully be able to eventually become a full-time content creator. You know, that's a huge goal of mine. I really love making content. So yeah, hopefully at some point, by being consistent enough, we'll manage to achieve it. Super excited for the face reveal. That'll be interesting, Big Rocky Muscle. It'll be interesting to see what people think. Hey Cameron, thank you very much for becoming part of the Pro Clan. Means a lot, brother. I really appreciate the support. You have no idea how much that means to me. So yeah, thank you for becoming a member, and yeah, I'm gonna be working to be able to give my members like some exclusive content, like something that justifies becoming a member. And yeah, like for example the guides on how to make thumbnails for YouTube. I think that could be a very good video because I've gotten a lot of questions, you know, all along my YouTube career, just asking me how I make my thumbnails. And I could definitely make a very good tutorial explaining how. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And definitely appreciate all the support, guys. We're gonna shoot that one as well. We hit it. Ooh, what a shot. I love the 7-day challenges. They are such a good like background video for me when I'm hunting my maps. That sounds like a very good way to watch videos, brother. You know, before I started making YouTube, I also used to watch like a lot of content of other creators, also hunting trophies, and that is exactly what I used to do. Like, I was hunting and I was just watching other YouTubers hunting diamonds, just to gain inspiration pretty much. So yeah, I completely understand you, eh? Investor Chris, how are you, brother? Nice to see you. You put your laptop on the left with Pro XCK hotspot map. That's amazing. That makes me happy to hear. Look, 2 more bugs, 2 solos. Their response, they keep respawning even though their drink time is like 40 minutes over. Like, it's been over for 40 minutes and they continue respawning. How crazy is that? That one is gonna die, but damn, if you don't hit them on the lungs with the 300, they take a while to die. Maybe Spanish language videos for members. I mean, that could be cool, Patrick. You know, a video in Spanish, imagine that. Like, you have no idea how many players or how much people have asked me to make videos in Spanish as well. And of course, like, I would love to make videos in Spanish at some point. But I have to be honest, like, the main reason why I started making content in English was, first of all, to practice my English. And second, because, like, the ads on videos that are made in English, like, pay you like 10 times as much as if you made the videos in Spanish. You essentially earn 10 times as much by making the videos in English than by making the videos in Spanish. So I would say that's a very good reason to make them in English if you have the opportunity. William, it means a lot for you to say that, eh? Yeah, I really appreciate you saying that you think I'm the best Call of Duty streamer. That means a lot because I'm fairly new to streaming. So, there are still a lot of things I need to practice, but yeah, I think just getting to chat with you, that's the most important thing. Because ultimately, that's the reason why I'm making these streams, just to get to chat with you and interact, and also for you to have the chance to see me play live, which is something you rarely have the chance to do, to do, because you basically see my videos all the time, and there are a lot of things on the videos that I'm not showing, but that you will get to see in the live streams. And yeah, also, I think the live streams are gonna help me become more fluent in English, because even though I'm already fairly fluent, like not super fluent, but fairly fluent, I wanna be more fluent. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I still think I have a lot of room for improvement, and like getting to interact with you and talk more during the live streams, I think that's very good practice. As long as my voice lets me, because that's the issue. Yeah, don't worry about it, Leviathan. You being here is more than enough. I'm always happy to see you here. Yeah, the memberships are, only if you have the chance and if you want to support the channel, it's really appreciated, but it is by no means like something I expect you to do, guys. Has anyone heard any news on the new map? I'm assuming June is release date, yeah. Yeah, probably late June. Investor Chris. I wanna think they are gonna release it on late June, probably around, I don't know, June 20th. That week. And just as you, I'm also hoping for Africa 2.0. Like, that would be incredible. Time to reset time once again. And yeah, guys, we're gonna do a last run. We're gonna kill a few more bugs right here. Just check the response, and we're gonna conclude the stream. Look, that is a solo. Gonna conclude the stream. Gonna go to my Discord and I'ma post a picture of my face for the first time. Not necessarily right after the stream, but it won't take me too long. So that is another kill. This is my 15th year living in the UK, and my English is still not perfect. Yeah, basically I totally understand that it's hard. Eh? By the way, what is your original language, basically? Because I was under the impression that you always spoke English. I honestly highly doubt the summer map will be Africa 2.0 because I would expect a new lodge to be released before it. Honestly, same. Yeah, I think we would need a new trophy lodge before Africa 2.0, especially if they plan to release elephants. If they plan to include elephants and rhinos, we are definitely gonna need a new lodge because the current ones are way too small. There is another solo. Still getting consistent response. Hopefully good shot. Come on, buddy. Bro. He's gonna die, but way too slow. Glad to hear you liked it, Robert. It was nice to see you here. Look, that is maybe hurt. Although I'm only seeing one female, so yeah, that may be two solos actually. Let's see. Gonna shoot that one. Nice. if there's an animal overlap with current African map, maybe we'll get some animal reworks. Yep. Yeah, I think, for example, the lion, I think is likely to overlap with Africa 2.0. Maybe the Cape Buffalo as well. So yeah, those definitely should be reworked. The lion manes, they look terrible at the moment. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the reworks as well, because man, every single of the species on Borjonga Savannah really needs a remaster. There's not a single species that you could say looks actually good. Yeah, absolutely, Big Rocky Muscle. Yeah, I'm not worried, but definitely a bit curious of what people will think, because it'll be my first time showing my face pretty much. Or at least to the broad community. If they are giraffes, there'll definitely be a new lodge. Yeah, absolutely. They'll definitely need a way taller ceiling. Glad to hear you liked that, BC3. It was nice to see you here. I hope you have a good night, brother. Lion is way overdue. You are so right, Investor Chris. Yeah, we need a Lion Great One with a remaster as well. I think that could be incredible. Makes me happy to hear, Philip. Very, very happy to hear you like the content, and thank you so much for the support, brother. It means a lot. It was nice to see you here. Look at that puma. I hate the puma so much. They are the word annoying personified. Imagine trying to cram a giraffe into Spring Creek Manor. Imagine. I mean, I guess you could fit it in, maybe in the main room, like before the stairs, but that's it. That's the only place where it could fit. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be pretty much it for today's stream. We managed to get a lot of kills for the mule deer, roughly 100, I believe. And the important thing today was to try to test the consistency for the response. And even though the response haven't been super consistent and not as, I guess, not as frequent as I was expecting, I would say they are consistent enough to actually be able to grind the mule deer on a single lake, which was the original idea. The main thing we have to improve is to improve the position for our tents and tripods. Basically try to cover every single of the drink zones with a tent. So that'll definitely help a lot, and that'll definitely speed up this grind a lot. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a very good night, and I'll see you on the next stream or video.